they have the game knowledge to know when to start fights and when not to start fights. So it was a very solid team play, very solid draft. They also had a very solid draft. They knew exactly what they wanted to play and how they wanted to play each hero in in communication with all the others. So very great team to watch. And now I'm looking forward to seeing what Equilibrium can do, if they have the same equilibrium that the Nightmares had between the players and among the players.
Well, it's going to be interesting. We do see an instant Ereza ban come out from the Nightmares, which I think is a pretty solid choice. You could consider as a slight throwaway ban in some ways, but it's such a strong hero that you take it off the table straight away, and then we see a follow up with an Anka ban. Who do you think? Yeah, I was gonna say Churnwalker. That's surely a wise choice to take away. Even though you have first pick, I still think it's a good strong choice to take away in the current meta, Deca.
Well, I'm pretty sure yes, but I would personally let the Churnwalker go as a first pick. But I'm pretty sure they want the Arden. Like they are either going to ban Arden, I think, Lorelei, Yates, or Gramjo. It's going to be pretty much the bans for the red team, and so they are going to get one of the strong picks though, anyways. But the Churnwalker has the potential to just completely change one fight. But of course, if they're not that comfortable on the Churnwalker, there's no point in picking a hero you're not comfortable on, especially in a tournament where you have to win. And so they just didn't want to risk it. Maybe they want the best Churnwalker. They have the Lorelei maybe selected and leaving out the Arden. What do you think about this choice, though?
I think I actually think it's a good choice because as strong as Arden is, when you play your Lorelei to a really competent level, Deca, she is so damn annoying. Like she can out CC so many heroes. She can stop a strong front line getting to your back line. In my opinion, that was definitely a really nice choice that came out as a first pick coming out from the Nightmares. Plus, I think it leaves open them to actually build a comp around the Lar, like we are following, like we are seeing. Coming out from Equilibrium, they picked up an Arden Kath, two strong frontline kind of tanky heroes that I would say it's going to be a top lane Catherine and a support Arden, but time will tell. And then with a Catherine being followed up and a Grumpjaw, man, that is a pretty disgusting in my opinion, Deca.
Yeah, it's they have a very interesting comp considering the amount of lows, stuns, just CC they have only for the first three heroes they picked, which is no carry at the moment. It's just support heroes. And seeing they already have a protector, a healer, and then just a hero that messes up everything from the enemy team, which is just Gramjo, which is he eats, he's lows, he just goes in and nobody can heal him when he's a little bit far in the game. So seeing the first carry for the Equilibrium, the first real carry of the draft, it's a Kinetic. Kinetic, very interesting hero. She can just dodge Lorelei's things like the fish food or the splashdown with her. But do you really think it's the best pick at the moment against the comp they have?
Against the comp they have, no. I think Gwen would have been a much stronger pick. The reason why is because yes, Kinetic can do what you said in terms of can kind of dodge out of the way a little bit, similar to Vox, but she is actually kind of a little bit immobile compared to Gwen, who got a buff on her B with that skedaddle, where when you overdrive it, it lasts for days, so to speak. I definitely think Gwen was an overall stronger pick that came out from between the Kinetic and the Gwen, at least to begin with. But obviously, the draft has stopped, so we're going to find out what this situation is and try and get it started as quickly as possible. But yeah, what we saw out of the two rosters so far, who do you think has a stronger comp?
So unfortunately, we only made it to the blue team full draft, so it was a Scarf and the Gwen as carries. Very strong carries. It was the exact same carries they had the first game, so we all know they know how to play these heroes. And like considering how they ran with the draft they made, which is very similar to the last game draft, and we saw them pulling off a great game with that draft, I'm pretty confident in the blue team draft. Though we haven't seen the mid laner for the red team, which can just make or break the draft for them. Considering the Gwen and the Scarf, probably a Samuel could work. I wouldn't really go for like a CP Baron, even though it could work, but it would be too much of a late game hero. So they might just get snowball and not reach the late game. A Samuel could work, could do the job, especially considering they have 3 backline heroes, considering Lorelei a backline, and only 2 frontline. He can just sneak behind the, like with the medicine verdicts, he can just sneak behind the 2 main tanks. He can just shred the blue team's draft easily. Let's see what Prolito is going to decide to pick, and it's probably going to be a Samuel or a CP Lyra too, maybe. What do you think about the CP Lyra?
I see. That's the thing. I think Baron against this, with this comp and against this comp, I actually think that's a really strong choice because yes, you're gonna need the Baron to get the late game deca for sure, 100%. But that tanky front line of Arden, Kath, and Lance to have good CC, you're gonna have the Vanguard from the Arden that's gonna be able to help push the, help with the Baron disengaging quite nicely, plus provides that barrier. You're gonna have the CC chain that's gonna come out from the Catherine and Lance, and plus the kinetic in the backline being able to kind of, hopefully have a chance to build up her stacks in the late game, most likely going for Surface Mass Breaking Point. I really like the comp coming out from Equilibrium. Yeah, my humble apologies. I kind of forget, but it's gonna come down to playing to the power spike. So we both know that it being a CP Baron, late game all the way, wait until you get 3, even 4 damage items before you really start engaging as a strong 5-man team. Before that, you got to just maintain your lanes. If you have to let a turret go down in 1 or 2 lanes, let it happen. Don't worry about it. But play to your power spikes. Then come out from Nightmares. They've just got to stick together and similar stuff. But I feel they're going to have a stronger early game.
Well, the stronger early game for sure. Scarf still a great hero late game, but early game he definitely packs a bigger punch than a Baron. Considering Baron started with the Weapon Blade and the CP thingy just to make it easier for the farm. Very smart choice. Already trying to Sasuke already trying to be aggressive with the fish foods, unfortunately missing. And the thing is, you're perfectly right. They have to decide whether to keep a turrets alive or like focus on farming. I think for Baron, he just has to farm. He just has to play safe and let the turret fall if necessary. But he must, he can't just go full aggressive, full aggressive. He has to be very, very patient with his jump jets and very, very careful with them, especially considering the lockdown potential that the blue team still has, considering Lorelei and Gwen and Gramcho, which can just knock him down easily.
Definitely, and I really would love to see the Gwen and the Grumjaw, but especially the Grumjaw rotate from the bot lane to the mid to shut down the Baron as quickly as possible. Because what I think that will help the Nightmares is just stopping the Baron from getting to any kind of late game. So the way you do that is you do that by ganking, shutting down his farm potential. You shut down his ability to really build up gold. And how you're going to do that is by just taking him down and rotating as a 3-4-man team and just out damaging him. So I think that's what the Nightmare should do in the first 6, 8, 10 minutes, and then see how it goes from there.
Well, considering I completely agree with you. The red team doesn't, considering they just stole both blue buffs. They got the blue buff, Arden got the blue buff, their blue buff, and Lance got the blue side blue buff. So they already started aggressive, and that was a very nice choice, considering Scarf now without the blue buff can't be as aggressive as he can't do as much damage early game as much as he would like to, considering how much damage the blue buff actually does give as an early game item, as an early game objective that you can just collect. It's very, very good to poke, especially as a Scarf, but not having picked that up, it's not only a less gold, less experience, also a less potential aggressiveness. Just potential poke he just lost, and that's pretty unfortunate. Seeing already that they haven't screamed yet as a mid laners, it's pretty sad from the Scarf's point of view, especially because Baron already has his 15 CS and Scarf only has about 12 as soon as he finishes to clean up this wave. Kinetic already coming up, but taking down Sasuke to low health. Big Bad Vamps dodges the perk upon murder for the Baron. And it's already a mid scrimmage, which is normal to see in EU. Actually, very interesting EU meta. Baron going in the jungle heavy, and Gramjo already trying to take down the kinetic. Now Linkambiz is already trying to put down the Arden low health, while Baron is just taking the 2 small camps with ease. Great choice of him, just keep farming, perfectly played, while his team is just taking care of the annoying players coming to them.
So that was good. That was really good by Lycan to rotate up as that Grumpjar. Like I said, that's what he needs to do. I feel that was kind of a little bit too little, too late at some point. However, knowing that, seeing that he can do that, that will possibly put Equilibrium, under a bit more of a kind of respect the fact that he's going to do that. I don't know who quite took the CP buff on the side of Equilibrium, Deca.
Baron made it.
Yes.
He managed to take it down. Now it's Lincoln is already trying to go in heavy. The dude low health. Baron taking down the Gramjo low health too with a few Perkip and Mortars, but unfortunately he only has 2 Crystal Bits and so not that much damage coming. Gwen busy on the bot lane trying to push the wave and take down the turret, while Catherine though is coming and taking care of the lane minions pushing towards her turret. The red team is taking their jungle, the blue team is taking their jungle. They're just all farming and taking it easy, which is the best thing they can do. Big Bad Vamp. Arden packs a great punch early game. Like, his blood for blood is just so annoying to deal with as a mid laner. He just keeps punching you and dealing you so much damage. Baron going in towards Big Bad Vamp, Yetu, and although is coming back, great damage from the Baron already, considering he only has 2 Crystal Bits and 1800 gold in his pocket, so he's going to pick up some great items, so he's going to be able to do way more damage the next time he fights the Scarf.
Yeah, that is just really disgusting damage even early on coming out from the Baron. It did more show with the CP buff, which, like you said, kind of highlights what you mentioned before in terms of, when you have that CP buff early on, it really does help bring a bit of a power spike in its own when you have that item picked up. But we do see an engagement coming out from Baron and Arden looking to just steal that farm quite nicely, but Scarf just does rotate to try and farm up his own mid lane CS as much as possible. It's generally quite equal in terms of the goal difference right now. Deca,
there's 4 versus 1 taking down the Grace. Great team play for one trick carry using great Impale and great Gideon Wall taking down the Grace, followed by all his team. Great team play, and now Ghostwing has just landed. They might think of taking it, but they are on the wrong side of the map, unfortunately, so they might just focus down the top turret. Maybe it's a strange thing to just get a kill and not be able to do much, but I feel them like they were on the wrong side of the map, unfortunately. And great fish food from Lorelei. Impale misses. Linkambiz is there. He knows what's going on, but he doesn't want to show up. But they have a scout cam, so they perfectly know where he is. I hope he's just there waiting, but I think he's AFK. No, okay, he's not. Goes in, stunned, incredibly stunned. Red team takes the buff. I have no clue who took it. Kinetic. Great job from Kinetic, slowing Sasuke. Sasuke almost dead. Sasuke dead already. 1 kill for the red team. They might just think of taking down Ghostwing. Apparently not. They just go on the north side of the map. So apparently they just won the turret. I don't really understand why they don't want to take the Ghostwing. Do you know why they just prefer taking down turrets instead of taking Ghostwing?
Well, I think it's just straight out because they're on the wrong side of the map. So it does take quite a while to rotate to the other side of the map, and in the early stages of the game where the death timers are realistically quite short, by the time you rotate to the other side of the map, yes, you might still have a bit of an advantage. You're not really going to gain anything, especially with the jungle timers kind of coming up quite shortly, like we do see with the Lance and the Kinetic going to their own jungle. It just made sense for them to stay where they were, take the money from the gold from the kills, take the mental advantage from the kills, and then just build it up to the next 3-4 minutes. Because like I said, this comp that's coming out from Equilibrium Deca, it's a late game comp and they're winning the early game, so either way they're on target.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what they have to do, and they're doing it better than what they are like what we expect them to do.
Yeah.
Because we're expecting them just to play it safe, and they just decided, no, why play it safe when you can just kill the enemies? And they're doing it perfectly. One trick carry already trying to annoy Yetu in, but Big Bad Vamp is going to help him run away. Baron already is throwing some huge damage. Like, he's just doing one Porcupine Mortar and still taking down a fifth of Scarf's health. Already half health down for the poor Sasuke on his Lorelei. He can't really tank too much. He's not the Finn that he used to, like he was against last match.
Yeah.
So he can't just tank the entire damage. 4 men versus 2 versus 3. One Tree Carry is coming. Sasuke already low on health. Gauntlet thrown down by the Yardan, eaten by the Gramture. They take the blue buff though. The red team takes the blue buff. Stun when he's stunned though. Dragon's Breath is going in, taking almost down everybody, but doesn't connect on the Baron. So the Baron is just keeping doing damage. Great Impale from Lance, followed by the Gideon Wall. Scarf is doing a few damage too. Like his Spitfire are hurting, but in the entire fight, the dude wasn't even there, and they still held off. So considering their bot laner wasn't there, and they held off against the bot, the mid, and roam for the blue team, I can see this match going pretty well for the Equilibrium team.
Yeah, definitely. That was a nice CP steal coming out from Grace against the Kinetic, but might lose her life in the process, but does just about survive by picking up the healing flask. Yeah, that team fight engagement, you know, it should have got realistically from a man advantage, from a carry advantage, that should have gone over to Nightmares. Both the Scarf and the Gwen were there, but I feel like the focus just wasn't there. I like the fact that he swallowed the Arden, but you've got to really take advantage of that by synergizing the Dragon's Breath with the Aces High as much as possible. It was kind of like just unfortunately that I think whether it's just a lack of communication where the Aces High came out, but it was just too long of a wait before the Dragon's Breath came out. Also, I want to talk real quick about the builds, Deca. I think, in my opinion, Scarf should have gone Shatterglass. The reason why is because Baron has such a high damage output, plus the splash damage of the Porcupine Mortar is quite disgusting. That, you know, Spellfire, yes, is going to provide mortal wounds, but I just think Shatterglass would have been more core burst damage item to help shut down the Baron in the early, mid, and even late game stages. But either way, gone for that Spellfire. It's not the worst item, but like I said, I think it could just got more. But nice engagement coming out now in this team fight.
Great engagement from the Gwen, going sneaky onto the Baron, but already taking too much damage to try to do anything more. Yes, I do like the idea of the Shadowglass. I would pick the Spellfire maybe later in the game, because especially early game here, they just have to do as much damage as they can. Great Impale from one carry, but a great block from Sasuke. Great stopping of that possible kill for the red team. Already 4 members of the red team in the mid lane, only 3 for the blue team. Gramcho is coming to help, while Catherine and Gwen are just having fun in the bot lane. Unfortunately, Gwen can't really help at the moment. She has too low health, and they might just collapse on the Ghostwing. I would go Ghostwing at the moment. 2 members of the blue team are not there. Just go get it, but apparently they don't really want to. And one Trick Carry is still annoying the opponents, but no big deal. He doesn't really have that much damage as a supporty Lance, like support carry Lance. Great Impale though keeps doing the damage. Gideon Wall takes Sasuke down to pretty much useless hero. Eaten is Gramcho 8, finally somebody. Lance is being eaten, but goes exactly where he does want to be, which means on the Scarves. Great Porcupine Mortars from the Baron. Great Ion Cannon. Now Grace, good Holy Nova trying to prevent the Kinetic from killing everybody, and Kinetic is dead. Great job from the Lorelei with the splashdown, but Baron almost taking down the Grace, but not making it, unfortunately. It's pretty much a win for the blue team at this point in time as a team fight.
As a team fight, yes, but okay, going back to, you pointed out that Equilibrium should have gone for the Ghostwing. They were at that point in the map. I totally agree with you. Even if they had to use the Ghostwing to force a team fight, either way, they're kind of in a position where they're ahead right now. They could have taken the Ghostwing or secured a team fight from the Ghostwing, the pressure of the Ghostwing. Either way, they rotated to the other side. They kind of forced a team fight then, but they didn't really take it. They didn't really follow it up, and the Kinetic lost his life. They
Talking
were trying
about
to take the
fights,
CP.
there's a big team fight going down bot lane at the moment. Sasuke going pretty heavy on the Baron, just with a fish for taking him down. Low health, and he's just the roam. Now they are trying to take down the blue team. Another great fish for taking 2 opponents, taking 2 red members to stunned. Baron is already low on health. Great impale from one trick carry. One trick carry is almost dead already. Great Holy Nova. Gramjo can't eat anybody because he's so low on health. Baron keeps going. Aces High doesn't really connect. Baron keeps taking the speed fight from Big Bad Vamp, though. Great job of him. One trick carry seems like he wants to take this Ghost Wing finally. Maybe not. He just wants to go top lane. There's Kinetic taking soloing the Black Claw at the moment. It's just a distraction. The blue team has no clue what's going to happen. Great carry from one trick carry. Great Gideon War. Great Impale. He perfectly knows how to play Lance, but Gramtree is going hing, stand by the Catherine. He wants to eat the Arden. He eats the Arden, but it's not the real target he doesn't really want to get because he can just run away. Arden, great stun from Olinova, but the silence from the Catherine is down. Scarf is dead. Once again, Lorelai is dead. And everybody's stunned from the Gauntlet. Great job. Lance and Arden just pulled off the best combo. The best combo they could pick up. Just stun from the Gauntlet, stun again from the Gideon Wall, and another time from the Gauntlet. In the meanwhile, the Black Claw is taking down the mid turret. The Kinetic is taking down the top turret. What's happening?
Oh man, to be honest, I don't agree with the fact that one hero can take down a Black Claw on his own. I really don't like that. That's just an annoyance for me. But either way, the Ghost Wing has been captured by Equilibrium. It seems like Grumjo is going to lose his life in the process as the Black Claw is now raining down in the mid area with only Gwen going forward. Kinetic was pushing the top lane on her own as well, so takes in a turret. This is just hugely shifted towards the Equilibrium's advantage. They've got the gold lead by about 2k. They've got the itemization lead, but more importantly, they've got the strength of their comp way more in their favor based on how they're playing it and the fact that they've got such a protect the Baron comp deck, and plus with the Baron overdriving the Porcupine Mortars, he's able to use it to actually zone and position the Nightmares wherever they want Nightmares to be. So they're not only dictating the game right now, but they're dictating every single team fight deck, and that just plays a huge part in you securing it. They can do kind of whatever they want.
What I love the most from what we just saw is the confidence of the red team. Equilibrium just went 4 versus 5, and they were the ones engaging. They were the ones that like, okay, you're taking the Black Claw, you're taking the top lane, we are fighting 45, and we are not just distracting, we are winning the fight. It was such a great way to just show how good of a team they are, considering the combo we saw from Arden and Lance. It was a great situation to be in as a 4v5. Now look, one trick carry just confidently, some people might say stupidly, but we can see it's confidently and perfectly planned. They going Gauntlet, going down, Impale, Gideon Wall. The Ion Cannon doesn't really connect onto anybody. Fishfoots though connect, and Kinetic is trying to poke down. Scarf unfortunately has to be as far as possible. Great Impale from one trick carry, followed by two Porcupine Mortars is just down. The poor Gwen is down, and Sasuke is trying to do his best to stall the enemy team, but Impale another one takes down the Grace. Grace almost down, and she's going to go down from the maybe from the Spellfire. No, apparently not. Just goes down. Every single person of the blue team goes down except the poor Scarf who's trying to survive, but the damage from Baron is huge. Great prediction from Big Bad Vamp because he knew the Ion Cannon was going to be a great Ion Cannon, so he just had to prevent the Ion Cannon from hitting him. Great dodge. Baron is just 2 kilometers away from the fight and just taking down the turret with ease. It's just incredible. Great positioning from all the blue team, the red team, sorry, and Lance one trick carry just showing off how you have to play Lance.
Great, 100%. 100% indeed. But again, I want to point out the second item that's come out from Scarf, Dragon's Eye deck. It's what you've got to know. What's so important about playing Vainglory is you know how to build your hero based on how the game is going. So you're playing against a Baron, a CB Baron that's late game. You haven't won the early game. So what do? You've got to really try and ramp up as quickly as possible to get to the late game or to match that late game that the CB Baron has. Dragon's Eye on Scarf, when you have the zoning and the CC potential that is coming out from equilibrium, you're not going to be able to build up stacks. Simple as that. They're being shut down too much. They're being zoned out too much. He's getting a maximum of 6, 7 stacks in most team fights so far. Plus, without anything like a clockwork, you're not really able to kind of, spit out those spitfires and goops as much as you really need to. It's just a wrong build that's coming out from Scarf right now. A little bit sad to see because it's not really helping the Nightmares as much as could be helped. But talking about that, we do see Equilibrium are jumping straight onto the Black Law deck.
Again, 4 members. Catherine is just down, distracting the other team players. Great Gauntlet going down already. They try to steal the Black Law, but apparently they can't. Great job from the red team. Sasuke already in the fight. Gwen is joining finally. Lance is just not taking any damage, just taking one before everybody. They just take down Gramjo 3v1. Lance already down low on health, but he doesn't care. He just goes in. Great job from Kinetic taking down the remaining carry, which is the poor Scarf. Just goes down, tries the Dragon Breath, but doesn't really make a difference. Gwen takes down the somebody. Gwen took down the Catherine, even though she was already dead. I don't know how this really happened, but great job from Gwen taking down somebody that when she was dead. So just, I think it's GG. Not much they can do at the moment. They're all dead, and the red team is just waiting to kill everybody. Kinetic is back in base. Probably she has had enough of the game. Oh no, because they surrender. We didn't see it, unfortunately.
Oh, right.
Great job from Equilibrium, not Equinox, Equilibrium. Great job. It was just like, as much as we liked the team play from the Nightmares last game, this game it was just better. They knew exactly what to do, how to force, how to be confident, how to bait the opponents into thinking that they could just take the fight. It was 4v5. Why shouldn't you be able to take a fight 4v5? Just because they are ahead in gold, they are ahead in confidence, and they know they can do things that you can't really do. Considering the build that Scarf unfortunately had, I completely agree with you. Just the thing that he had 2 defense items, Spellfire and Dragon's Eye, no damage, absolutely no damage in the first 12 seconds of fight. And in 12 seconds, the red team had already taken down Black Law and the enemy team. So it was really not much to do.